Over the last few decades, tourism industry has grown at an accelerating pace, with 1,322 million of people traveled to international destinations in 2017. The excitement of exploring cultural heritage and natural heritage could be one of the driving motivation for traveling. Heritage tourism is the very oldest form of travel. It describes the personal encounter of visitors with local traditions, histories, and cultures. Tourists who enjoy traveling for heritage purposes are usually highly educated, with a stable income and particularly interested in learning cultures and traditions. In recent years, there has been a growing concern on public heritage preservation and interpretation, which play constructive roles in the social evolution of nations, regions, and the local communities. This resulted in the establishment of UNESCO World Heritage List. This list contains protected areas, objects, or cultures designated as having outstanding universal value under the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage. Basically, there are three types of heritage sites: cultural, natural, and mixed. Cultural heritage sites, which include the hundreds of historic buildings and towns, significant archaeological sites, and works of monumental sculpture or painting, satisfy the requirements of criteria 1 to 6. The natural heritage sites are restricted to the natural areas, and they satisfy the criteria for natural heritage selection, which includes criteria 7, 8, 9, and 10. As for today, there are 1,073 sites listed in the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Malaysia included. Gunung Mulu National Park and Kinabalu were the first sites granted the World Heritage Site status in the year 2000. Melaka and Georgetown received their UNESCO World Heritage Site status on 8 July 2008 for their remarkable examples of historic colonial towns. Both sites were listed according to criteria 2, 3, and 4.
Pada UNESCO, langkah kepada UNESCO, saya rasa pembangunan yang ada ialah dari segi susah saja. Sebelum ni sebenarnya saya datang Malacca pada tahun 2008 ni saja saya datang infrastruktur kurang. Maksudnya penambahan untuk jadi pada tahun ni saya datang saya tengok ada banyak perubahan dan dah kurang lah.
Malacca, the second smallest state in Malaysia, was ranked the 5th in the world's trendiest holiday destinations. The number of tourists is growing from year to year, which is in line with the state government's target of getting 16.75 million tourists in 2017. Travelers are motivated to visit Malacca to personally explore and experience its unique heritage element. Various heritage sites, ruins of fort, colonial buildings, temples, churches, and old architecture can be found in Malacca. They hold the story of the past, ready to welcome and be discovered by the tourists. In this documentary, we will be focusing more on what travelers do and where they usually go during their stay in Malacca. Bandar Hilir is located in the heart of Malacca. It is known for its historical buildings, food, and culture. This historical city can be explored using numerous transportation modes. For example, tourists can choose whether they want to spend less than 20 ringgit to enjoy a cruise along Malacca River, or get a trishaw ride around the city that only costs 30 ringgit per trip. The trishaw was a very significant feature to Malacca in the past. They had been used ever since 1960s until the early 1970s as one of the main mode of transportation for short distance travel. Even though time has changed, trishaw remains relevant and is still being used in several places in Malacca, especially in Bandar Hilir as one of the tourism products. In addition, tourists may also move around by walking or cycling, which is more convenient than driving. Undoubtedly, Malacca has successfully positioned itself in the eyes of the world after receiving its heritage status, resulting in more people coming for a visit to the city. Unfortunately, Malacca has become congested, especially during the school holidays and weekends. Tracy Lee, a tourism operator in Jonker, said that the peak season during which Malacca becomes crowded with tourists is during the school holidays and weekends. Samuel Law, also a tourism operator in Jonker, told us that there are more tourists visiting Malacca from June to December, mostly coming from Singapore, Johor, and Kuala Lumpur. However, the congestion in Malacca is a positive sign as it only means that the state is receiving many guests to its shore. Every inch of the heritage sites is beautiful, especially the colonial designs and the amazing architecture, which are perfect for photography activities. For example, people go to State High Building, which now operates as Ethnological Museum Malacca, to learn more about Malacca's history and to appreciate the artistic building at the same time. In other words, tourists do not only gain information and stories about these sites, but they could also capture for themselves the splendor of past glories during their visit. Chantal, a tourist from Canada, stated that she enjoyed the amazing scenery of the city, especially the unique design of the old buildings. To her, while enjoying the view, she could connect herself with the past and learn more about the history of the site through the detailed explanation given by the travel agent. Malacca is a well-known cultural heritage destination. Cultural heritage is an expression of the ways of living developed by a community and passed on from generation to generation, including the customs, practices, places, objects, artistic expressions, and values. Located in Jonker Street, tourists can be seen at the cultural heritage site enjoying authentic Peranakan food at the night market. As their footsteps finally reach the Jonker Street night market, the tourists will be dazzled by the glimmering lights hanging all over the place and the sounds of the vendors promoting their food gejolingly, charming the customers to try it all. A fusion of Malay and Chinese traditions, the Nyonya cuisine comprises local delicacies such as satay, curry chicken buns, fresh mango juice, and so much more to feast your eyes. The street will be filled with tourists and locals alike, looking for delicious food and dessert at a reasonable price. As the place is packed with tourists, the locals would also put on a show where they would throw coconuts up in the air and shift them from one place to another that would surely hold them spellbound. In summary, Malacca is a colorful city that has been shaped by time through a long period of establishment. The uniqueness of the city should be continuously preserved in the future, along with the continuous improvement to ensure that Malacca remains the top choice travel destination, especially for heritage tourism.